Have you ever looked at your bank account at the end of the month and thought, where did it all go? You know you didn't take a vacation, you didn't buy anything major, yet somehow your paycheck vanished like smoke. I used to feel that way all the time, like I was working hard just to be broke. It felt like a losing game, and I didn't even understand the rules. That was until I found two simple yet powerful concepts, the 50-30-20 budget rule and frugal living. These two together didn't just improve my finances, they changed my entire relationship with money. This is the budgeting approach that finally worked. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Let's start with the basics. The 50-30-20 rule is a budgeting framework that divides your after-tax income into three categories. 50% goes to needs, things you must pay to survive. 30% goes to wants, things that add enjoyment or comfort. And 20% goes to savings or debt repayment. That's it. Simple, elegant, powerful. No complicated formulas or financial jargon. Just clarity. And that's what most of us need, clarity. But clarity alone isn't enough. That's where frugal living comes in. Now hold on, don't click away. I know the word, frugal, sounds like suffering, deprivation, never having fun again. But real frugal living isn't about cutting every joy from your life. It's about getting more from less. It's about prioritizing. It's about spending intentionally, so your money brings actual value, not just temporary pleasure followed by guilt. Let me tell you how I started. I used to make decent money, but it never felt like enough. I was living paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed. One weekend, I sat down, printed out 3 months of bank statements, and color-coded every expense into one of the three categories: needs, wants, savings, debt. What I discovered shocked me. I thought my problem was bills. But it wasn't. I was leaking money through convenience and impulse. Takeout. Subscriptions I forgot about. Late-night Amazon scrolls. The "just $10" trap, over and over. It added up. Once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. So I made a decision. I would try the 50-30-20 rule for just 1 month. But I'd combine it with a frugal mindset. Not to suffer, but to finally feel in control. I started with the 50% needs category. This included rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, and transportation. First, I reviewed every fixed bill. I switched insurance providers to a cheaper option. I called my internet company and negotiated a lower rate. It actually worked. I started meal planning and buying in bulk. No more daily grocery store runs where I'd accidentally grab snacks. My grocery bill dropped by 25%. I then turned to the 30% wants, and this was the tricky part. This category is where a lot of us sabotage our budgets. But instead of eliminating all wants, I just made smarter choices. I ranked my wants in order of happiness. Which things actually made me feel good, long-term? Dining out with friends. Yes. Random gadgets. Not really. I started practicing value-based spending, spending on what gave me joy, not on what was convenient or trendy. I created a wish list, and gave myself a 48-hour rule. If I still wanted something after 2 days, and it fit in the budget, I could buy it. Most of the time, the urge passed. I also discovered something amazing: free joy. Frugal living opened my eyes to how much fun life could be without spending. I found free community events. I got into hiking. I borrowed books and movies from the library. I started learning new skills online, for free. Instead of spending to escape boredom, I started creating more and consuming less. My screen time went down. My fulfillment went up. And I wasn't sacrificing, I was upgrading. Now let's talk about the last 20%, savings and debt. This is the category that makes your future self high-five you. Before the 50-30-20 method, I'd try to save whatever was left over, and usually, that was nothing. But now, savings was built in. I set up automatic transfers, 10% into a high-yield savings account, and 10% toward debt. No decision fatigue, no forgetting. I treated savings like a bill I had to pay. And something amazing happened. After 3 months, I had my first real emergency fund. For the first time, a surprise expense didn't destroy me. I just paid it, calmly. But the beauty of this system is its flexibility. Some months, my needs were less than 50%. Great, I could throw more toward savings. Other times, I had a big expense or income dip. I adjusted. It's a framework, not a prison. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness and alignment. And here's the deeper truth I learned: frugal living isn't about how little you can live on. It's about how much life you can get from your money. When I stopped chasing stuff, I started feeling grateful. I was no longer buying happiness, I was building it. One conscious decision at a time. I'll share a few quick, powerful tips that helped me stay on track. First, budget weekly, not monthly. It's easier to stay focused and adjust quickly. Second, use cash or debit for wants. It's way harder to overspend when you see money leaving your account in real time. Third, track your emotional spending triggers. If you tend to shop when bored, stressed, or tired, find alternative coping methods like journaling, walking, or even cleaning. Fourth, find a frugal buddy, someone who also wants to live intentionally. Share tips, hold each other accountable, and celebrate wins together. And finally, forgive yourself. You will mess up. You will overspend. That's normal. The point is to learn and keep going. Today, I'm not just more financially stable, I'm more emotionally grounded. I'm less anxious. I sleep better. I have breathing room. And ironically, by spending less on things, I ended up feeling like I had more of everything that matters. So if you've been struggling with budgeting, or if you feel like money controls you instead of the other way around, I encourage you, just try the 50-30-20 rule for 1 month. But do it with a frugal mindset. Spend with purpose. Cut the waste, not the joy. Simplify, don't sacrifice. Because when your spending aligns with your values, every dollar becomes a tool, not a trap. And if this video helped you think differently about your money, even just a little, please give it a like. Share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe for more practical, honest, and empowering tips on how to take control of your finances and live your best life without breaking the bank. I'm rooting for you, and so is your future self.